Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I will be continuing my tier list. Today we'll be doing the low tiers. And just to reiterate, I will not be including Mii fighters, and this is all my opinion and subjective, so let's just get right into it. Alright, so the lowest low tier, in my opinion, is Pac-Man. Now, Pac-Man is an interesting case, because I've seen people do some ridiculous stuff with Pac-Man. Abadongo in 2015 is a perfect example of someone who had mastered Pac-Man at the time. But with Pac-Man, he's just been left in the dust as the game has evolved, new patches have been released, the meta has evolved. Pac-Man has just been left in the dust, and no one plays him anymore. Abadongo dropped him a long time ago. Everyone that plays Pac-Man, or did play Pac-Man, has since dropped him because he just hasn't kept up with the times. He does have some amazing tools, like his neutral B is amazing. When used correctly, he has amazing Z drops, some of the best in the game. Probably the best in the game, if not second only to Mega Man. And that's pretty much about it, to be honest. His recovery is really predictable and punishable. His side B, you are able to stop it entirely. And let's get to the obvious elephant in the room, his grab. His grab is the worst in the entire game, and the worst thing about Pac-Man as a whole. It has a lot of startup frames, only I think it was 12 active frames, correct me if I'm wrong, and a lot of cooldown frames. Very, very punishable, very easily predictable to get out of. It may be a longer grab, but if the grab is this slow and bad, there's no point of even having a longer grab. That all combined together does not make a very good character. Now, next up on the tier list, I would put Wii Fit Trainer. Now, Wii Fit Trainer, again, is another interesting case. It is probably the most odd choice for a character that I've ever seen in a Smash game. Let's just get that out of the way first. She's weird. But she doesn't have, again, a lot of things that low tiers have in common. They don't have a lot of tools. They can't really do much against the higher tier characters. Wii Fit suffers in the fact that her projectiles are very slow, and one of them you have to charge, which is never really good, unless you're Mewtwo. But uh, hers can't jab block like Mewtwo's does. So, her recovery is pretty exploitable. Her up B, unless you mash it like Luigi's, down B, it doesn't do much. It's pretty exploitable and punishable. It doesn't hit very hard. It actually has a hitbox. I know, shocking, but when it hits, it doesn't hit very hard. And all around, she's just like a kind of a poor character, to be honest. She doesn't really have a lot going for her, and it's sad because like I like the idea of Wii Fit Trainer. I'm terrible as her. She's probably my worst character, her and Pac-Man, but I really do like the idea of Wii Fit Trainer. I like her concept. It just wasn't executed very well in practice. Next on the list, I would probably have to put Mr. Game & Watch. Now, Mr. Game & Watch, God, a lot of weird characters in the low tier. Mr. Game & Watch is another strange character. He came out of nowhere in Melee, and for some reason he stayed through all of the Smash games, even though not a lot of people play him, except maybe like Gimmer or something, but like, whatever. His neutral B, his projectile, is worthless, pretty much. Unless if you're going for like some cheese gimp, and even then it's kind of difficult to even do anything with it. He's basically RNG the character. If you want to do anything good with Mr. Game & Watch, you're going to have to rely heavily, heavily, heavily on RNG. Again, unless you're Gimmer, because the Gims always wins. And yeah, if you have to rely that much on RNG to make yourself look like a better character, you're not really gonna impress a lot of people. His throws are okay. His down throw can lead into some jank RNG at 0%, even though you can counter it. I was playing his Game & Watch once, and I was going to do a down throw into side B, hopefully getting the 9, right? And I was playing against a Corrin, and the Corrin was at 0%, so I grabbed him, down throw, did the side B, got the 9, but the Corrin was able to put out a counter attack before I hit the 9. If your most easy kill confirm combo doesn't work all the time, what's the point of even having it? Ding Dong will work nearly 100% of the time. If you can counter that, it's not even worth having. I mean, Game & Watch isn't that good. But again, I've seen people do some crazy stuff with Game & Watch. Next on the list, I would have to put Palutena. Whoops. Palutena. I've always had kind of a love-hate relationship with Palutena. Again, she's like Wii Fit. I love her concept. I played the crap out of Kid Icarus Uprising. It's one of my favorite games on the 3DS. Palutena as a character, amazing. Palutena in Smash as a character, not so much. Her neutral B, her projectile is weak, easily avoidable, exploitable, reflectable, predictable, punishable. Her side B, her reflect, isn't as useful as other reflectors because it comes out a lot slower. Her down B is just another generic counter that doesn't do as much as all of the other characters with counters. Like Ike's does a shit ton. Marth's is crazy if you hit it with the tipper. Lucina's is great. All of the people that have counters have decent counters at least, except Palutena. Hers is a little lacking, at least in the damage and knockback department. Uh, her up B is like Sheik's, basically, but it doesn't go as high, and it's more easily punishable and predictable. Actually, scratch that. Sheik's more punishable, but you can. Hers doesn't do as much as Sheik's does. Her neutral game is alright, I guess. She has a ding dong, which is always fun. Her down throw and up air kills at like 80-90%. But all in all, she's a really lackluster character, and yeah, just not very good in general. Next on the list would go Duck Hunt. All of these characters are just weird, oddball, out there characters. Jeez. Anyway, no correlation. I apologize. But Duck Hunt is weird. Again, he's another interesting case, just like Pac-Man. I've seen some people do some crazy stuff with Duck Hunt. Ryoto, the Japanese Duck Hunt main. Perfect example of someone who's mastered the character, but he's the only person I can think of that actually plays Duck Hunt, because Duck Hunt is not that good of a character. He has ranged smash attacks, excuse me. He has ranged smash attacks. In his forward smash, up smash, and down smash are all ranged. More so his forward smash than anything, but anyways. He has, well, all of his specials except his up B are basically projectiles. He has the can, for his neutral B. His side B is the disc. And his down B is the Wild Gunman, which is basically just a projectile that you spawn in. His down B, you can easily get rid of just by attacking the gunman, and you can block it because they don't fire very fast, except for one of them fires. Alright. You can punish it because it's got quite a few startup frames. Whenever I play as Duck Hunt, I rarely ever use that move because it isn't very good, and I barely get hits with it. But his can is alright. It's good for covering approach options. I know that from personal experience. I don't want to talk about it. But it's good for covering approach options. His disc is alright, I guess, if used correctly. But, again, it's just another forward flying projectile. Doesn't do much unless you hit it, which is kind of difficult to do, to be honest. His recovery, his recovery doesn't have a hitbox, so it's easily punishable. It goes pretty high, but other than that, nothing much to it. His neutral game isn't anything to marvel at. His smash attacks, although they're ranged, they don't do that much damage or knockback, but he doesn't have that good of a combo game, other than, like, he has a couple things at a down throw, maybe. I haven't played Duck Hunt in a while, so I can't really remember, but he has a couple things at a down throw, if I recall correctly. But other than that, it makes him a lot less viable because he doesn't have a combo game. His neutral game is very weak. His smash attacks don't do a lot. His specials are lackluster and easily punishable. And all in all, he's just not a very good character. Next up on the list is Kirby. Now, I love Kirby. Kirby as a character is adorable. I love him. But in Smash, he's never really been very good. He's always been near the bottom or at the very, very bottom of the tier list. And nothing has really been done to make him a better character. His smash attacks, let's start off with the positives. His smash attacks are really good, unless you get weak hitboxes on things like up smash. All of his aerials auto cancel, which is amazing. He has multiple jumps. He has a pretty good recovery, and his neutral B can be thrown in the trash and swapped with any other better neutral B. And it gives him a cute little hairstyle or hat or disgusting ears in the case of Mewtwo. But his neutral B isn't that. No, the usefulness of his neutral B isn't that high, honestly, because again, it's got a lot of startup frames. It's easily punishable. You can approach it as long as you're not running straight towards him. You can, like, punish it. It's kind of hard to even get out. But let's go on to the negatives. Again, like I said, his neutral B is hard to get out. His down B is easily predictable and punishable. You don't know how many people I've seen on For Glory try to do the thing where you just fly up to the top of the screen and use down B, hoping that it'll get something off. You could just grab him out of it or wait till he comes out of it. He's got a period of vulnerability when he first breaks out of his down B. You could just wail on him. Speaking of wailing on him, he's very light and dies very early. But even though all of his aerials down cancel, most of them don't do a lot of damage, but he does have some good combo potential. Down air into up smash is one of my favorite combos with anyone ever. He's got some decent combos out of throw, like forward throw into forward air. Uh, but really, all in all, he's not that strong of a character. Even though he's got decent combo game, uh, he's got okay specials, except like side B. His side B is nearly pointless, nearly worthless. But uh, other than some decent combo game, multiple jumps, an okay neutral B, if you can actually get it out. Uh, auto canceling aerials. Kirby isn't that good of a character. That's why I put him this low on the list. Alright. Next up on the list, I would have to put Link. Link is slow. Let's get that out of the way first. Link is a very, very, very slow character because of all the equipment he has and it weighs him down or whatever. But, excuse me. Link's speed is his biggest downfall, in my opinion. He has a tether grab. He hits really hard. He has the hardest hitting S smash in the entire game. If you can get both the hits off. And he's got quite a few tools. Like all of his specials are very good if you can get stuff with him. Like he has a couple bomb kill setups. Like bomb into up air kills relatively early if you can hit it. But other than that, he's got an okay combo game. Just get that out of the way. Again, back to his weaknesses. He's very, very slow and easy to combo due to his larger hitbox. He can't really get moves off, even though he hits very hard. He can't really get moves off on other people due to his speed, and that's a huge problem. But there's not much more I can say about Link. His throws are okay, I guess. There's not much more I can say about Link. He's just not that good in the grand scheme of things. Toon Link is much better. Much rather be playing Toon Link. Right. Next on the list, probably put Samus. Samus goes in the low tiers for some of the same reasons that Link does. She's really slow and floaty. Floatiness isn't necessarily a bad thing, but she's ridiculously slow. All of her projectiles take a long time to charge up and can be easily reflected. Her side B has a lot of startup frames. Her neutral B has to be charged to maximum if it even is going to do anything really. Her down B is damn near pointless if you don't combo it into something, which you would probably do. What am I saying? But yeah, if I can't really say much more about Samus because everything I said about Link, I'd probably say about Samus. I'd just be repeating myself at that point. Next on the list, I'd put Bowser Jr. Now, I'm putting Bowser Jr. above Samus because Bowser Jr. is heavier than Samus, so he dies later. And that's literally the only reason. He doesn't have a very good combo game. People that have previously played Bowser Jr., such as Tweak, have dropped him in favor of other characters because he wasn't very good. Has some okay combos out of side B, like side B into like Nair or Fair. That's about it, to be honest. He has some okay ledge traps with like down B if you like regrab it and then Z drop it. It's a okay ledge trap. But other than that, No, Bowser Jr. doesn't have a lot going for him. His recovery is kind of terrible. He's near defenseless when he's out of his clown car, which is what his recovery does. It takes him out of the car um, entirely. But again, I'd probably just be repeating myself if I had talked about anything that Bowser Jr. has that Samus and Link don't, other than the fact that he has some good ledge traps. That combined with his increased weight is why I put him above Samus. Next on the list, gotta go with Rob. Now, Rob, never really been too fond of Rob, to be honest. That's not why I'm putting him on the lower tier list. It's just because like the only person I can think of that's ever done anything good with Rob is Waddy, and maybe like Waddy. Can't really think of anyone else. If anyone can think of anybody else that has done good with Rob, please tell me, because I honestly cannot for the life of me think of anyone else that does anything good with Rob. Like Bowser Jr., he has some good ledge traps with gyros. Um, his side B is fun to use, even though it's damn near useless. His recovery is very exploitable, even though you can act out of it, I'm pretty sure. His neutral B is only good if you can hit with it, and that requires precision, which, to be honest, a lot of Smash players don't have. A lot of them play sword characters. Um, uh, but, yeah, again, basically, Link, Samus, Bowser Jr., and Rob all have kind of the same problems. Um, that's pretty much it. Alright, last person on the low tier section is Dr. Mario. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sausage, you main Dr. Mario. Why are you putting him on the low tier? Okay, I main him, but I have to realize that he isn't that good of a character, to be honest. Zero said it best. He's just a watered down version of Mario. He's not as fast as Mario. He doesn't have as good of a combo game. His fair doesn't spike. Um, he has some stuff out of down throw, but not like Mario does. Mario's down throw is just basically his kiss of death. Mario's like down throw into hold up and press A. But Dr. Mario can't really do that like Mario can. He can't rack up damage at low percent like Mario can. I have to come to terms with the fact that my main isn't that good. Isn't as good as I make him out to be, in my mind. But he does have some good things about him, like, he's got a reflector, which can act as either a reflector, it can turn people around, can get some nice gimps, some cheese kills. Um, his neutral B, his pill, it jab locks, but it's got a lot of lag to it. So his Nair jab locks. He has a pretty good neutral game. His up B is devastating if you hit it in the sweet spot. His down B can stuff stocks at ridiculously low percents if used off stage and mashed, but his weaknesses far, far, far outweigh his strengths. That's probably why Too Many Cooks dropped him in a while ago. But Too Many Cooks was like the best Dr. Mario in the world, but he dropped him in favor of Mario. But yeah, I still main Dr. Mario, and that's probably not going to change anytime soon. Uh, even though he's not that good. Uh, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about him. He's basically just Mario, but watered down to the point of no return, pretty much. Uh, yeah. Well, that wraps it up for the low tier portion of this tier list. And either I'll see you all in the near future for the mid tiers. Goodbye.